Here's a question for you. Is it possible to know what Google actually wants when it comes to content? Well, it is. So who do you ask if you want to know what Google wants? Google. We're going to look today to see how we can find out what Google wants you to produce when it comes to results in its search engine. Hi, I'm Zane from Zanet Design, and I help businesses like yours grow and improve and really benefit from my 20 years experience. So make sure you subscribe to these videos. Make sure you visit my blog at zanet.co.uk, and hopefully in time, if you apply these things, you'll find your business benefits. So today we're looking particularly at how can we know what Google actually wants from us. So say if you're a plumber, what do? Do you blog about some of the plumbing work you've done, some case studies? What are people actually looking for when they search for a plumber? What can you talk about? What can you produce? Do you need to show videos of how you've done certain jobs? Do you need to perhaps broadcast via news items as to how you've helped a lady around the corner? Well, to answer those questions, Google will tell you exactly what it's looking for. Let's see how it does it by looking at Google itself.
So here we are in Google, and we're going to just, as a plumber, we'll just type in plumber and enter that. So what is Google looking for when it comes to plumbers? Well, we can get a good idea that most of the time Google is looking to provide people with local plumbers. So what we're talking about here is search intent. Google thinks that if you type in plumber, the most common thing that people are looking for is a plumber, which makes sense. So ignoring these adverts, which are the top 4, so that people are paying to be there, but we're looking for how we can get into the results for free. And straight away we see the 3-pack comes up, and there's a video of how you can make it into the 3-pack for free. If you look at my information bar at the top of the screen, and you can follow that video. So I'll put a link to that for you. But you notice here then there's the first thing it does is produces map results. The second thing it does is then tries to find the types of questions you may be asking. So that's the kind of what Google has worked out people are looking for when they type in plumber. So if you're a plumber and you've got a website and you want a listing and you want to get local business, then you need to be aware of what it is that Google's looking for. But here's the real trick, and I've never really noticed this before, but notice the order here at the top of what Google is suggesting. So Google is saying that all will obviously cover all the things it has about plumbers, but the first thing it thinks as a priority is to show plumbers on a map. And so after the adverts, that's the first thing it shows. So it doesn't show who's number 1 for the keyword plumbing, which is an old SEO style way of thinking, but it shows who's number 1 locally when it comes to a map based on your geolocation and based on all sorts of other things which I've covered in other videos. So make sure you subscribe and make sure you visit those videos, and you'll see how that works. And then after that, images is the next thing it produces. Then anything to do with the news, and then videos. So that's the order it takes, and there are other things as well it could go to, but it's not thinking you're looking to buy books on plumbing, or even that you want to fly over somewhere to find out more about plumbing. So there are all other options that Google has to fall back on. Let's just show you why this is a different order to other things. So if you were, say, into phones, would maps be as relevant? Well, they wouldn't. In fact, if you look at here, I've typed in if you're, say, developing phone software, then what would you talk about? Well, in this case, it's really keen to make sure you have videos. So whether it's reviewing how to update software, which it appears to be down here in the videos, so you notice here videos are being served up very quickly, and they've put that 2 or 3 down into the search engine area. So this is telling you that Google really likes videos. So if you're into phone software, then maybe you should be producing videos about it. Then maps afterwards, so people perhaps looking for a software company that can help them produce an app. and then images and shopping kind of follow a long way down the line. But notice that's quite different to what we looked at. If you're more into the financial size, the FTSE 100, well, notice again an intent comes up here where it's producing an analysis, a summary of what's going on, and providing again some very different type of information. And what comes up here, finance. So you would be producing charts and perhaps all sorts of various summaries that would actually be beneficial to then use on the page there. So again, that's quite a different thing. And notice here news is important as well, top stories. And you notice here finance news. So that's again very different to the two here. And again, we can go on painting and art, images and videos. And again, look at this. Images are coming right to the fore. Different types of art as well comes to the fore. Google's showing again exactly what it's looking for. And even shopping, you may be looking to buy art. So shopping comes up. In fact, again, if you go for something else like reporter, you see here images, news, maps. So if you notice along here, these are all very different. And that's because the intent of the user is different. Just to give you one more example, I'm going to do it incognito because obviously it will come up different for me. But if I put in even a brand, so my brand is Zanet Design. So if I look at that, so it provides not only with the images from my website, provides me obviously with the overview of what I do and how I can help people, but also then it provides this whole information here about my products. Even my videos are coming up, videos here as well. So there's a real intent on providing a lot of information about my branding, and that would be the same with Yahoo and so on. So information is one thing. So let's just explain what information is. If I did say 4 plus 15, so an easy sum, I'm looking for information, so it provides me with a calculator, and then it's looking at other things. What did I mean, PS4 instead of 4 plus and so on. But notice there I've now got a calculator to work with, so another intent there of really wanting to give me information or help me with a various thing there. What about if I wanted to find out how to get to Zanet Design? So say you wanted to visit, then here we've even got one. I'm actually sat here, so obviously there's no visiting for me, but it provides a map from my location to where I want to be. So again, intent given there in a navigational way. What other things can you do? Say for instance you wanted to find the best 32-inch TV, best 32-inch TV by Samsung, we'll say, just narrow it down a little bit. And now we have a shopping area coming up. So again, you can see shopping's number 1 here. And again, we can go through the whole process here of looking for that. But let's say, for instance, I knew what the model number was. So now I'm almost ready to make a purchase. I've done my research. So again, my intent changes from being perhaps transitional to more of a commercial one. So I'm not wanting to know anything other than prices. So now the very telly comes up, and I've now even got prices here, and it's just a slightly different one, slightly different order, but I can compare prices now and have a look at that as well. So let's go back to what we said at the beginning. Google is telling us exactly what it's looking for. So if you're wanting to make content, if you're making content, then bear in mind that rather than just guessing what Google wants or assuming that whatever you provide Google is interested in, why not consider changing by looking to see what Google is actually ranking? And in that way, then you've cut out so many other options, and you've then provided Google with exactly what it's looking for. Now, I know there are other search engines, but we have to be realistic that obviously intent is quite important when it comes to these things. In fact, I saw this particular image. Let's see if we just put this up. So they're just saying that informational is still 80%. So the majority of what people are looking for is information, and things like blogs and other news items and so on. They're still providing a lot of traffic, but things are changing. You notice that navigationally, so this is where the search pack, the 3-pack comes in, Google My Business, now 10% of this is navigational, the map area. And then the transactions as well, this is more for shopping, so shopping carts, making sure that you're seen on some of the shopping areas. Again, that's growing as well. So In years in the past, information was just what it was all about. Gradually, these are coming in as well. So a really important way to understand how things are changing when it comes to your business. But let Google tell you what it's looking for, and you won't go far wrong. Thanks for listening. Hope this has been useful, and I look forward to again speaking to you soon. So make sure you subscribe, make sure you visit the website zanet.co.uk, and I'll speak to you again soon.